Hey everybody, I am here at the beautiful Lakehouse restaurant, which is situated in the brand new W Hotel in downtown Bellevue, Washington. Now what's really exciting about this restaurant is they've been using Kangen water technology now for well over a year. And we're gonna go inside and check this place out, and we're gonna sit down and talk with Chef Jason Wilson, who is a James Beard award-winning chef. We're going to talk to him about how they're implementing this technology and why it's so exciting. So let's go inside and check it out. Okay, so now we're in the back and we're just going to show you how this technology works. Right here we have the Enagic Level X Super 501, and this actually produces 7 different pH levels of water that have all kinds of uses, many of which Chef Jason talked to us about earlier. And one of them that we're going to show you right now, if I press this button here, what's actually being produced by this device is this top hose here is making hypochlorous acid, which is 2.5 pH electrolyzed water. Now this is actually twice as effective as most bleaches in terms of disinfecting, sanitizing, and use it to disinfect and clean anything around the kitchen, cutting boards, knives, you name it. Now what's being produced out the bottom here is a strong alkaline water that actually has some very unique properties to it, which we're going to show you here in just a moment. Now I press the stop button and it stops making it. Now here we have the sanitizer that will actually pass a health inspection. And as I mentioned before, it's twice as effective as bleaches at killing bacteria. This water, this high pH water that we have here, is fascinating stuff because this is what Chef Jason and the staff at the Lakehouse are using to clean their floors, their grease traps, their hoods, but a lot of other uses for it as well. And one thing I'm going to show you is, this is some sesame oil that I have here, and we already know that water and oil
What, Jason?
They do not mix.
They do not mix. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the sesame oil here and we're going to show you the tap water and that sesame oil simply do not mix. But this is some of this high pH water that we just produced from this Enagic technology right here. And I'm going to take some of this and I am going to actually completely emulsify that sesame oil, get this, with water that I can drink. Completely non-toxic, which is amazing because if you come over here, Tristan, you're going to see that we have some tomatoes here, and we're going to actually wash these tomatoes on the right with this high pH water. And then
tap water for the other one.
Chef Jason's going to help us here.
Your assistant, Chef Jason.
Yeah, I'm fine with donning that hat.
He's the sous chef today.
Okay, that's how we normally do it. We normally put it in tap water, or I shouldn't say we, but that's generally how speaking how people will wash the vegetables. And you can see there's just a little bit of discoloration or tinge in this water, but I mean it's just so faint. What happens in the other?
But if you look at this one, and Tristan, if you can zoom in there, you can see that this water is already starting to turn yellow and that it's extremely oily and greasy to the touch. And one thing that we don't realize is that tap water has chlorine, it has fluoride, it has over 200 chemicals in it, and these tomatoes are porous, just like human skin. So they're actually absorbing all the chemicals in our tap water. So if you're buying good organic produce, and it's coming into contact with tap water, you are still putting all of these chemicals into your produce.
You know what I've always enjoyed about this too, is that you can see a color difference in the tomatoes, just in the ones that are coming out of the water. So you can almost choose any one of these, you'll see a difference, but then you can also feel a difference. There's an actual redness that's increased in this tomato. What you've done is you've taken off any of this, gosh, it's so
waxy
strange.
Residue?
Yeah, there's this, well, the residue, there's sprays essentially that go onto this to prevent that porousness from absorbing things in the environment and then, you know, decomposing or ripening the tomato faster than it wants to be on the shelf. So if you look at that, it's dramatic, the difference.
And we can even pour some of that out to give our viewers a better view. So there's our relatively clean tap water. And then we have our, where do you see this? I mean, woo! Does anybody want to take a sip of that? I don't.
So there's the difference.
Look at that.
Well, this looks like a sample of the doctor's. And that's kind of the scary part, is that we're
It looks like
ingesting
urine.
that when we eat these tomatoes. And I mean, that goes to any other vegetables. Tomatoes being porous are a real simple way of doing it. We've done it with cherries. Being in Washington State, we used about a ton of these a year. Cherries, that is. And we've done it with cherries with the same result, the liquid being a little bit darker. But same deal, because cherries are porous as well.
And a lot of times you don't see the chemicals that are on there as well. For example, apples. We're in Washington State, the home of apples, and they put wax on apples. Cucumbers have a waxy film on them that you can't always see, but you can certainly feel. And this has the ability to remove that, because as you see, this sesame oil that we mixed with the water, the tap water, has completely separated. And here we are several minutes later, and that has not separated. It is still completely emulsified. So the ability to clean the back of the house and even the front of the house of your restaurant is phenomenal compared to even in terms of results that you would have with many chemical products. We found that the high alkaline water has the ability to even outperform the chemical degreasers.
Yeah.